NBA 2K, a franchise I have played for many, many years now and have always enjoyed it immensely. It's been one of the premier sporting titles for such a long time now that it should be too big to fail. But it is failing, and it's failing us all. It's not failing in terms of money, it's still making a boatload, and I'm sure the executives at 2K are super happy with how it's going. But it's failing the people that have paid upwards of $150 to play the game. It has become a constant greedy strain on players' wallets, constantly asking for more and more from its players just to get the best out of the game. The trend has been especially noticeable since the launch of the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, but this year is the worst it has ever been. The career mode, which is my preferred mode to engage with, is almost impossible to play without spending real-world money to upgrade a player. There is no ability to work your way up to the NBA, to build skills. It is simply, hey, you're now a starting player in the NBA. You need to be better. What's worse is the game punishes you if you reduce the difficulty. It reduces the rewards you get if you're playing at a lower difficulty, which means it takes longer to upgrade your player. They're really forcing you to cash in, buy, spend money on that nasty VC that has plagued 2K games for so long now. This, of course, has caused a huge uproar among players, with overwhelmingly negative reviews on both Steam and Metacritic from those who have played it. And there is a sense the venerable franchise has finally gone too far. I know I'm feeling that this may be the last time I actively seek this game out, and that even takes into account that I often get my copy for free thanks to review codes from publishers. For those who pay for the game, be it the standard $100 for the normal edition, or the stupidly high sums of money for the various special editions, it must be such a hard pill to swallow to be asked to keep paying just to be competitive. But how did it get this bad? How did 2K get to the point where they are so blatantly putting money over players? I strongly feel it's because there is no one around to force them to do otherwise. There's no one offering a competitive product to keep the decision makers honest. Without competition, there is no drive, no feel to do better, to win their consumers' hearts. Without another basketball game, 2K don't have to try. They just have to focus on bleeding players of every red cent. This sadly seems to be a common occurrence in sport games. When a major sport is dominated by only one developer, the quality of the game inevitably starts to falter over the years. Whether it is the game becomes more greedy, a la NBA 2K, or the game itself failed to innovate or change, as we've seen with Madden over the last few years. Without competition, there is no driving force to make games better, to excite players with each and every release, because the bigwigs know they don't have to spend money because they've got a lock on the market. Now, this isn't always true. Of course, games like MLB The Show and FIFA, or EA Sports Football as the case may be, still put out quality and innovative releases most years. But they aren't immune to this sort of money-grubbing behaviour or lack of gameplay features. For example, Ultimate Team in EA Sports Football is a money-hungry mode. It hasn't affected the rest of the game though. And in the case of MLB The Show, there is the ability to spend money to get upgradable equipment that improves the player's stats. You can't ignore it. But the thing is, it's easy to imagine a future where, a few years down the track, without any genuine competition, these money-making tactics become more egregious and more invasive, as those in charge realise there's more money to be made. Things can change without competition. I mean, 2K themselves managed it with WWE 2K, but unless the fan backlash is so spectacular that the game no longer sells, there's not going to be any desire to do just that. What gamers need are more options, more competitors in the market. We need EA to bring back NBA Live. We need Pro Evo to make a triumphant return. Just as the case with Sony and Microsoft, competition forces innovation, improvements and additions to win the hearts and minds of consumers, giving everyone, and I mean everyone, a better product as a result. Get this competition, and it seems increasingly unlikely that we will. I fear that these sporting behemoths are going to continue to get worse, continue to bleed players for money and continue to stagnate. Sport games were once one of my favourite genres, but this trend has seen me engage with them less and less. I'm not generally a doom and gloom type of fellow, but in this case, sport games as a yearly product may well be done and dusted for all time. And all we'll be left with are clunky, money-demanding loot box-filled games that have ceased to innovate or improve. I'm sure you can agree that this is a future that no one wants, except possibly the accountants at major publishers. Let's hope things get better and get better soon.